there folks, it's me Cheryl and this is The Whole Bucket. Welcome to The Whole Bucket. I am very late with this video, so at the time of recording it is slightly afternoon on January 4th, 2023, and I was supposed to put this video out yesterday, the 3rd, and I'm supposed to put one out today, and I'm supposed to do a live show this evening. And I'm way behind on stuff. So we're going to do this video as quickly as we can, but I didn't want to just do another intro video. I wanted to do some actual crafting because, you know, that's what I do. So I have two different varieties of embellished paperclip in 4 different sizes each. And I know that sounds like a lot, and I know I said this would be a quick video. Quick in my realm, because I tend to go very long, and quicker than it could have been because I pre-cut all the different sizes of paper that we're going to need. So I'm going to set the 2 different kinds aside and show you just one kind at a time in all 4 sizes. And then show you some ideas for embellishment. Or further embellishment, right? Because this is embellishment. But the reason I'm doing this is because I was in Defemmerember, which I've mentioned before. And it is an embellishment ephemera making activity that is hosted by some other crafters in December, and the idea this year was to come up, or to end up with a book full of ideas, so that when you're creating junk journals, or any kind of journal really, you have a book full of ideas for that book. So if your brain gets stuck, right, you have a place to look. I found that the book that I made with them did not function for me, and I'll demonstrate why some other time, but it's led me down a different journey. So I have paper clips in 4 different sizes. Look at how tiny the tiny one is. My goodness. I think it's like 1/2 inch. Just over 1/2 inch. Not quite 3/4. Okay, it's about 5/8 of an inch. So, this is a kind of hidden paper clip of, I believe this is my own design, although I find that really hard to believe because this isn't like new science or anything. But this is how you make it. Okay, so I'm going to start with the ordinary size paper clip, and I did a practice one. This will also go in my new sample book. This is not glued or anything, and it's just white paper, so it shows how to put it together, and it shows the measurements. I need a piece that is 1 inch wide by 3/4 inches long. So that's what I have right here. 3 3/4 inches long. Whatever. Words, lady. Let's see if that's right. That is correct, so I haven't got it mixed up. Anyways, the way to do this paper clip is to start on the back side and put the shorter end over the paper, and then I'm just going to fold this over on itself 3 times, right? I'm going to go like that, and I'm going to make sure that these edges are lined up before I crease, and then I'm going to do that again, and I make sure the edges are lined up again. See, I can twist it this way and this way. I don't want any of that. I just want it straight on, and I want the paper clip to be straight, and I want the edges to be matched. And then I can crease it, and then the last bit, same thing, up, tied up against the paper clip and matched on the sides. And then I'm going to unfold it, and I'm going to take this paper clip off, and let me stand up for just a second. There are 2 tools I forgot to bring down here. They're my hole punches. So I'm going to fold this as if the paper clip were in it. So the 2 ends go in and then it folds in the middle. And I'm going to punch a hole with my hole punch, not all the way, just like half the circle, as in the middle as I can, just eyeballing. I'm not going to measure, and like that. So now I've created this little divot, right? So unfold it. I have a divot and I have a paper clip, and I want to embellish these a little bit just to inspire ideas. I don't want to over-inspire. I don't want to over-embellish. I don't want to over-inspire. That's funny. I don't want to over-embellish because I found that too much visual information just makes my brain fry. So I'm going to see if these beads fit on a paper clip. And I want to pick colors that I really, really love because this is supposed to be inspiring to me. So this metallic gray purple kind of color is a lovely color. Let's see if this is going to fit on a paper clip. And the big question is, will it go around the curves? Oh my gosh, no way. No way, Jose. So I could straighten this out and then rebend it. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm doing this. So I just want to get it, right there-ish. So a better idea would be obviously to put this on a jump ring, right? And use, if I wanted to put a bead up there, use a bead as a charm. But honestly, this isn't going to matter too much that I'm not getting this paper clip perfectly bent back, because this is completely hidden. So, okay, that looks stupid. If that paper clip was going to show, I certainly wouldn't do that, but watch. So I'm going back to that same strip of paper and I'm doing it the exact same way, only this time we're going to glue stuff. So I'm putting the short end on there, and I'm going to take my glue. Maybe my glue is stuck to its holder. There we go. Let's do some glue. And then I'm going to just glue that part, make sure it's nice and those edges are lined up again. It gets a little wonky because, I mean, it's bumpy, right? And the paper wants to shift. So now this part, I'm going to hold the sides nice and even with my hand. I'm going to put the glue here only, not on the inside. Actually, it would have been easier if I put it on the inside, so kind of ignore this. I'll do it right the next time. But I'm just going to curve this paper and put it in between the paper and the paper clip and kind of ease it. I don't want to wrinkle it, and I use cardstock a lot for this. Right now I'm using paper. So look, it's getting a little wrinkly, so I want to straighten it out a bit. It's getting a little wonky, so I want to make sure it gets folded properly. And that is good enough. I'm not going to get all the wrinkles out when I'm using paper rather than cardstock. Ordinarily, I would have inked the edges before I glued this and put it together. I might use a different kind of bead as an embellishment, or like I said, a charm or a bead or something on a jump ring so that it sits better. But like I said, I don't want to over embellish because this is for an idea book. We might do more to this one in a few minutes, but I'll show you how and why we would do that in a bit. So there is the first size of embellished paper clip we have. Now I'll do the other familiar size. So I have a piece of paper that is 1 3/4 by 6.5, and it's the exact same process. So I'm going to go a little faster this time. I'm going to get this fold going. It's the same process, 3 folds, crease it when you've got it nice and even, right? unfold it to get that hole punched in the middle. If you don't want to put a decoration or a dangle or a charm or anything on there, then don't do this part. You can just put it together and glue it. I always like to put some kind of dangle thing. In fact, I've made some and thought, I'm not going to do a dangle this time. And then I don't use them because I am a creature of habit. Okay. I am not, however, going to do, well, yeah, I am. I'm a creature of habit. I wasn't going to do a bead this time. Good grief, lady. I'm totally going to do a bead again. So this time I'm going to do one that matches the paper. This really dark purpley black, or blacky purple would kind of, but I'm thinking more along the lines of matching the background paper. So maybe this brown, or maybe this gray brown. No, not that one. Not that one. How about this brown? That one I think is pretty nice. We're going to go ahead and use that one. Let's see if you can get this bead on a fatter curved paper clip. Yes. There. Okay, so it goes on that paper clip just fine. Oops, I almost put the long one out, or I mean in, and it's not time for the long one. I want the shorter one first. Honestly, I don't know if there's a reason why. I've never tried it the other way. I always start with the shorter end. Put some glue on there. Squish. Again, making sure that the sides are nice and even, Steven. And making sure that you get the paper clip as straight as you can and as centered as you can. They're going to end up a little awkward because a paper clip doesn't have perfectly straight sides. Okay, so I'm going to put the glue on the inside this time. This is really the better way to do it. That way the paper that I'm squishing into place doesn't get so soggy and doesn't get so weak. But make sure that you don't take the glue too far up or you will end up gluing your paper clip shut. Because this piece, when it slides into place, is going to displace some of the glue. So we're going to put that right down, or actually don't put it all the way down because then you'll glue it shut, right? Just hold it kind of in place and kind of even. So I have it open just a little bit and my thumb and finger are holding it like that. I'm still going to do the exact same way though. Curve that paper a little bit and just kind of squoosh it in, and it squooshes right in. And then once you have everything even and in place, get that glue to spread around and adhere. Yep. Okay, so we have 2 of those done already, and number 3, let's do the great big one. We have 2 inches by 10 3/4 inches, and look at this puppy. Ha ha ha. I just think this is a hoot. I've never used this kind before. This time I'm using a tea-dyed paper, and on this side it's really fine. I could use this in a journal and it could be used as writing space, but on this side it's a lot harder to think of this as being used for writing space. So I thought this might be a really cool piece to use for embellishment. So exact same process. And we'll talk about it a little less here. Folding. Oh, look, I got uneven. I don't want that. So I'm going to go back and fix that before I do anything else. Fold that. And the last fold. Okay. All right, let's get our hole punch and half the circle and centered eyeball-ish. Good enough right there. Got some wonkiness going on. Tea-dyed papers can be a little bit more fussy, just because the tea dyeing process shrinks the paper and warps the paper a little bit. So just be aware that it might not cooperate as much, but it is totally moldable to your wishes. Just show it who's boss and you'll be good. Okay, got the first part. I got the first part down. Okay, and then let's glue this part. And I think I might have glued up too high. I really need to watch what I'm doing. That's all right. That's all right. Swoosh it into place, and there we go. 3 of these. I forgot to try to put a bead on. I should have tried to put a bead on here, but I think the, shoot. I kind of want to know, don't you, if it would fit? Let's find out. I have a, rawr. Okay, I have another one right here. Let's see if the beads would fit on these. Just for future info, does the bead fit on this? Because it's pretty thick wire. Is that? No. No, I didn't think it would. That's kind of just silly of me. But you know what? Let's try this one right here. Because I think this paper clip is big enough to kind of handle a bigger bead. So let's see if a bigger bead would go on. I don't know if the diameter of the hole of the bead is any bigger. It is. It's not going to go around that curve though. Alright, well, a charm or a dangle or a whatever can go on there. Or a nothing. You know, doesn't have to be anything. Okay, now, I did mention in a previous video that I like tiny things. So, same process, but this gets really, I mean, it gets difficult when you get this tiny. But we're gonna do it anyway. Okay. There we go. There we go, Joe. Same deal, easy peasy. This is a stupid easy thing to make. So for Get Your Craft On 2023, this particular project right here, you know what? I was going to use this smaller hole punch, but I don't think I need to. Let's see if this, because actually the curve on here is not so tiny. Anyways, the project that this is going to be for is not for my idea book, although these particular pieces will be. The project that's going into Get Your Craft On 2023, which is what this video is introducing, is yesterday's installment of that, is I want to do a whole set of these paper clips in brown and in black, so that I have completely generic paper clips that have this basic setup, this basic piece of paper on, in neutral colors. I might do a whole bunch made up of cardstocks and, scrapbook papers and who knows what I have. Also, but I for sure want to do them in just black and just brown neutrals. That way I can add any charm. In that case, I would have to put the bead on later, right? But I can add any charm, any tassel, any color, any attitude, and then I have a whole set of things that are ready for any book they might go into. Gosh darn me, I forgot to put a bead on again. I was going to try these little tiny ones with a bead. Well, I'll make a charm for this one too. So there we have a little tiny one. This is style number 1. And look, I'm not sure, 1 3/4. 1 1/4. Look, I wrote the wrong thing, but it doesn't matter, does it? So this is the size I was intending to make, but I wrote 1 3/4 instead of 1 1/4, and I ended up with much wider, and it's fine. This size paper clip can manage that size paper just fine. So these are variable. These measurements are mostly for the length. This is the more important measurement so that I know what size piece I need to actually cover that size paper clip. And the width is really up to you or me or whoever's making them. Quickly, as quickly as we can anyway, let's move on to type number 2. This one is a little more involved, and I don't know how much detail we're going to get in this one, but this first part, it's not like they're hard. They're not hard to make, right? So I have a piece that is 3.5 by 7.5 inches, and this time the paper clip goes in the middle. And again, this is that same too dark to write on tea-dyed paper. So this one starts with the smaller side of the paper clip on the inside of the envelope, and then we're going to fold this in thirds. And because it's 7.5, that means that each fold is going to be at 2.5 inches. So I can use, I could mark these on a scoreboard, right? Or I can just use my ruler and my mat here, and I can just fold it like this. Or if I wanted to, I could use my bone folder, or I could use my bone folder like this. How you get your crease is up to you. That's the point. But you might want a crease, and you don't even have to have a crease, because watch, I can just do that. And then wherever this one ends up is where it ends up. It doesn't even matter where this one hits the paper. As long as the top and the bottom, or the sides, whichever it ends up being, are even again, this fold doesn't really matter that much. So I'll show you what we're going to do with this one. First of all, this is going to be a pocket, and I want a little bit of a curve to this, like you see right here, so that I can see part of what's in the pocket. So I'm just going to soft fold, I guess you'd call it, and I'm just going to cut a section out. This is where you might want to make sure that you ink your edges, because when you put something in a pocket, that's fine. You can see the thing that's in the pocket. But when you take it out, or if you don't have a pocket already loaded in a journal, somebody might not even notice that there is a pocket. So you really, I'm doing it with a black marker right now. That's, you know, that's not really artistically cool, I guess. This is not the best artistic look you can get doing it with a black marker, but it does get me that edge I need. So now I can clearly see, oh, that's a pocket. then we go inside this paper clip and we're just going to glue up this whole inside, making sure to get the top edge and the bottom edge especially, because you don't want this falling apart once it's made. You want it to be nice and secure, and the glue and the different layers of paper can help it get some body and some heft to it, so that, you know, it's a substantial product and will hold up to wear and tear. Get these edges glued down. Make sure they're all nice and even, and then make sure that you're going in here and squeezing this down around the edges of the paper clip too. That is a little trickier, and it wants to open all the time. Just all the time. It just wants to open. Okay. Now, on this next part, we're only going to put glue on this edge and this edge. This one is not of my own design. I don't believe the other one is either. I've just, like I said, I've just never seen anybody else make it, but I can't be the first person to try to do that. I doubt that I'm the first person to try to do that. This is not of my own design. Lots of different artists make these pockets for their journals, these pocket paper clips. I made all of my sample ones the same way, and if I remember to, I want to show you that you can do the gluing on different edges and create a different kind of pocket. We'll see if I actually remember to do that, because now I thought about it at the end of this one. We'll see if I remember when I get to that stage on the next one. But in any case, there we go. This now has a pocket, and it is now a paper clip to put on any page of any journal you wish. And we need to let that dry, so let's set it aside and do the other 3 sizes. Okay, so I have ended up with, okay, there's what I'm doing. Oh, what? Okay, so 2.5 by 6 or 2 1/4 by 6. That's 2 3/4 by 6. I think it's by 6. Yeah. Okay, so I measured wrong on this one. So I may want to go back and fix my measurements, but like I said, these don't really matter all that much. Let's just make it the way it is and see what happens. So I'm going to start with the larger section inside my pocket this time. And this is going to get folded at approximately 2 inches. Here's another thing that you can just do. So I'm going to measure 1, 2, and I can just hold my fingernail where it's going to fold, or about where it's going to fold, and then line this up on the bottom and go like that. Crease it up. No scoreboard, no bone folder, no rulers, no nothing necessary. Well, okay, so I did use a ruler on the board, but even that wouldn't be necessary. I'm going to fold this one over as far as it will go. And I did remember, this time we're going to cut the pocket opening on the top instead of one of the sides. So this last time I did it here on this side. You could fold this in the other order and put it on this side. We are going to, let me see which way I like it. I'm really close. I think I'm going to go with this side. You can also do it at the top. So I'm going to do the same way, just a soft fold, no creasing, and cut a little section out. And then ink it up so that we can see it. This marker is not long for this place. It is not long for this art room. It's gonna be a goner. Okay, there we go. Now we have that pocket marker. That's looking nice. We're gonna glue down. Remember to make sure you get the top edges. Make sure you get inside that paper clip. Glue that down. Now instead of the two sides that I did on the other one, I'm going to do the one side and across the bottom. And we will end up with a pocket in a different direction. I got a little carried away on the glue. Let's close this one up. We have two lovely paper clips. Okay, there we go. And what are we doing? Regular size paper clip. 1 1/4 by 4 1/2. Let's see if I got this one right. 1 1/4 by 4 1/2. Yay, I did. So this is what I intended. And we're going to start with on the inside. I'm putting the long part in the inside again. And this is 4 1/2. So where's the fold on this one? Is it 1 1/2, right? So right about there-ish is about 1/3. Oops, I didn't hold it even very well. It kind of wiggled away. And then we'll fold this one over. You know what I want to try? So if I, okay, here's what I want to try. If I take this off and make the pocket across the top in the center section of this paper clip fold, paper, wow. I cannot think and create at the same time. I cannot think and talk and create at the same time. Okay, so now I have the pocket in the middle section. And what I want to do is do this. Oh, I see the problem with it. Then I have that white, glaring white space in the back. I don't like that. Also, the paper clip would then show up, wouldn't it? Well, I don't like that at all. Whose stupid idea was that? Now I don't know what to do because I don't like what I've done. Well, you know what? I'm just going to go with it. Here's what I've learned about junk journaling. If you don't like something, just continue with it and make a commitment and problem solve along the way. That's what I've learned. That's actually why I like making these silly journals, because they're extremely forgiving if you can just come up with ways to fix everything that you've done wrong. A lot of times it's my bright ideas that go wrong, but most of the time it's my hands don't cooperate with what I'm trying to do. And I end up, oh shoot, that's not right either. That can't go like that. I gotta pull this off quick. Okay, so I was just realizing that I was gluing the paper clip right into the pocket, into the inside of the pocket. So this was the original idea I had here, is that if I glued the backs together, that doubles the weight that I'm putting the paper clip onto. And wouldn't that make a stronger pocket in the end? The answer is maybe, but I don't like it because it's ugly. So there's a couple of things I can think to fix this, and I forgot what I was saying a minute ago, so if I changed the subject all of a sudden, that's why, because I'm kind of a scatterbrain. Oh, it's my hands. That's what I'm saying. It's usually my hands that don't work. I will slip and put ink where I didn't want it, or cut things I didn't intend to cut, or whatever the case may be. This is just a piece of paper that I had done some stenciling on, and this was a leftover chunk of it. But we're going to end up doing the exact same thing that we did with all the others with this one, with the little tiny baby paper clip. And this is 3/4 of an inch by 3 inches, which means we're going to make this 1 inch fold. And we're going to do this 1 inch fold. Only then do we really have to decide where we want this to open, up here or up here. And I think I'm going to keep it on the skinny side. No, I already have this one on the skinny side. Let's do this one on the top. And which side do I want out? I think I want this side out. So I'm going to do the soft fold method again. If you have a oval punch or a circle punch, which I do, I'm just not pulling out at the moment, you can make your pocket dips. You can make your pocket divots that way also. Color the edges of your pocket divot and glue it all up. We want a little on the inside, and we want a little across the bottom. Now I'm really trying to get this gluing thing right, because this particular pocket size doesn't really lend a lot of space for extra bits of glue now, does it? Look at all the glue all over me. Good grief, lady. I am a messy crafter. Have you ever seen those neat and tidy crafters? In fact, maybe you are one. I am not one. Good grief, I'm a big fat mess, I tell ya. Glue everywhere, ink everywhere, paper everywhere. It's hilarious in here sometimes. Between the messes I make and the stuff my cats will come and throw all over the floor when they're mad because I'm not paying attention to them, it's kind of hilarious. Okay, and there is my little tiny pocket. Look at that little tiny pocket. Okay, I'm going to set these aside so these can dry for a minute, and we're going to pull the other set back, and I'll show you what you do next. So, like I said, these little all white with the measurements on are going to go in my idea journal, but so are these kinds of finished ones. And just so I can see the kinds of things to do with them and things to remember, right? So I have a bead on these too. A different time or a different day or whatever, if I want to, I might put some dangles on these. In fact, let's do one right now. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Because I have fun for thread. And why don't we just take a piece of this and maybe quadruple it up? And put it through this one. This might look really cool on this paper. If I can get it through, if I can get all of the layers through. There we go. There we go. All right, so now we're going to do what? Now I'm going to wonder why everything's all uneven. I don't know that I got all the layers, but I think I did. So then just pull that through. I'm going to put a little dot of glue. Actually, I'm just going to, okay, loosen it up a little bit. Put a dot of glue where it's going to end up, and then pull it tight again. And you will get this hook of the threads pulled tight into the glue, and that will make it permanent. And then let's just cut some of that off. Not straight though. I didn't cut it straight because I want it kind of raggedy. Maybe not that raggedy, huh? There. Now we got a floofy top. We got a floofy top on this one. I don't know what I'll do with the itty bitty tiny one. I'll wait till an inspiration comes to me, but look at this. I did prepare some super tiny bits for this. So let's take a look at this super tiny one. When I'm putting this on the page of a journal, okay, let's pretend this is a page of a journal. It's not, it's a page of a book. I know you find that shocking. Look, this little paper clip just goes right on, and it can be a bookmark, or it can just be an idea mark, or it can just be a decoration. It doesn't even matter, right? But it can go on the top of a page, or it can go on the side of a page and stick out in this direction. It doesn't really matter. That goes for all of these. Tops of pages sticking out the top of your journal. Sides of your pages sticking out the sides of your journal. Could be a bookmark for a line that you're on in a regular book that you're reading. All kinds of things that these can be used for. Okay, so, oh, I left it. It's so tiny, I forgot it was even there. Okay, we're going to put something on this little tiny one to decorate it. So I think on this first side, let's see if the word beautiful fits. Just exactly fits. So I'm going to put some glue on here. And glue this little tiny word on here. Normally I would outline this with ink. Normally there might be a piece of thread under there or some cheesecloth under there. Who knows what to give it more layers, but not only is this so tiny, I'm not going to do that, but it's also, like I said, I want to take it a little easy on how much I do to this. What if on the back side we put a flower and the word grace? Nope. What about a butterfly and the word grace? Might be a moth. I'm not sure. It's too tiny to tell, and I think I have it upside down. Poor bug. Poor bug flying upside down. There. What about that? Oh my gosh, it's so tiny. It's so tiny, guys. It's so fun. I don't know, are you like me? Do you love tiny things? Or do you love great big paper clips? Or do you think this whole paper clip thing is just ridiculous? Why in the world are you fussing with stupid paper clips, lady? I don't know. Share your opinions. Tell me what you got. Tell me what you're thinking. Okay. There we go. Now we got a bug. A butterfly or a moth. I'm not sure which, because it's too tiny to tell. But it is surrounded by grace. Do I have autofocus on? Yes, I do, but I can't keep my hand still. And there is hello? No. Hang on a second. Let me check something, guys. Let me just check a little something. Wrong. I'm back. Autofocus is on. Okay, let's see if we can we get this to focus on this? There we go. It's beautiful. I think I just didn't move my hand enough, right? Grace. There you go. All right, that's our little tiny paper clip. And on the other ones, let's see. I have this fairy. She's too tall for that side, but look at how nice she looks on there. I'm going to put her right there. And oh my gosh, the bead I chose matches her hair. I was going to sit and look for something else to put on here, but I'm not anymore. I'm just going to do this. Why debate when it looks that nice? She's adorable. Okay, when you're using a directional paper, like I did for this clip, I have now ended up with this whole side of the clip is upside down words. And the upside right words are almost all covered, but that's okay, because it's only background anyway, right? But on the side that has everything upside down, you might really want to add something. And I don't really know what I have the proper size for this side, because I seriously just cut out these tiny things. Hey, wait a second. I forgot. I did bring the butterflies and the birds. So let's see if we have a butterfly that goes with her. That actually really does. It brings out a lot of the colors in her dress. What about if we find something a little smaller? See why I have to do fussy cutting? All these butterflies aren't even cut out yet. Good grief, man. What kind of crafter am I anyway, if I don't even have my stuff ready? Okay, I have a lot of butterfly cutting to do. It's too big, guys. It's just a little tiny bit too big. Did I not? Oh. Well, that's too boring. And that's too blendy. That's really boring. I'm very unhappy with the butterflies I have prepped in my stash of butterflies. Okay, let's look at the birds quick. Do I have any tiny birds? Not really. And they're not fussy cut either. They're just, ugh, no. I only have a few birds. I need some birds. Let's take a look at this. So this is a board, as you can see, of chipboard pieces from a scrapbook kit that does not match this very, very well, but could we find a piece maybe that would work? Not really. I'm not happy with any of that either. Okay, so now you're understanding why everything I do takes so long, because I am the pickiest person ever. I'll be right back. I'm going to pause this and grab some more stuff. Okay, there is what I found. Let's move on. Anyway, I found a word that I like, so we're going to glue muse to this, because actually that's what this whole thing is all about, right? Inspiration. And then I found this flower that really matches the fairy on the other side pretty well. See? And the only thing I'm not liking about what I'm doing right now, and I'm very aware of it, and I will fix it at some point, is that this muse is in a yellow green, and on the other side there is no yellow green, and that's the kind of thing that really bothers me, and I will be fixing it. So that's the thing. Yeah, I'll probably find a little green leaf thing to put around, like around the base of her. So that's that one. And we did the little tiny one, and I'm going to skip that one for now and skip that one for now and move right on to the other set, because this video is already getting pretty long and there's a couple things I want to show you before I end the video. And if I don't get everything all the way done before this video hits an hour, then I will finish up off screen, put a picture, probably the thumbnail will show all of the finished product, and I will show them on the live show tonight. So if you are watching this the same night, that is January 4th, 2023, at 7:30 Central Time, you can come onto Facebook, onto the Dani Craft channel. Maybe I'll link it. I should link it. That makes more sense. Anyways, you can come and see there if you want to, how these ended up. So here's what I want to show you super quick, is that when you do these pocket ones, how you glue these, which direction you glue these will depend, or will decide for you how you want to make the card for inside. So for instance, if I'm going to put this on the top of a page, I want a card that is going to go in from the side. That maybe is going to determine the layout that I have that card in. I can also do this on the side of a page, just like I did the other paper clip, but then the orientation of the card is going to be different. And if that matters to you, that's something that you're going to pay attention to. That is something that matters to me a lot. I care about which direction my pictures go and which direction my words go, to a ridiculous amount. So if I'm going to make a card to go in this pocket, I'm going to make sure that the words go up and down and it goes in this way, and then this will tuck on a pocket in that, or a page in that direction. Here's another thing, is that because I am clumsy, you might be better at gluing than I am, but since I am clumsy, the width of my cards can often change, so I don't measure that very much. In my examples I did, just to give me an idea, but because the inside of this will vary with how far the glue settles in, and because how much of a tag I can put in the pocket will vary depending on how much or how thick the cardstock is, I don't really measure these very often. So you saw I just kind of guesstimated where the vertical cut would be, and now I'm just going to go like this for the across the top, right? And that's kind of it. I could, if I had it big enough, I could have made a fold there, and then this would be a card that goes in there. In this case, it's going to be a bit of a tag. I'm going to even up this top because I did it very lopsided. And I'm going to cut some edges off just to make it look like tag shape. Right? So you cut one off, flip it over, cut the other one off, and then they match. Again, if that matters. If it doesn't matter to you, don't do these silly things. I am a little bit OCD about stuff like this. It's a little silly because there's a billion things in my life I'm not remotely OCD about. All right, so here is why and where the rest of this matters. If I'm going to tuck this on the right side of a page and have this removed from the top, like I have it set up here, then the decoration on this envelope pocket paper clip is also going to matter. So I'm going to go back to this thing because now I have a fresh image. And I'm going to see if this happiness is like a butterfly one will fit across there. I don't know if it will. It will, look at that. But this is cardstock. This is really heavy, and I don't like how heavy a lot of cardstock ephemera or embellishments are. So I peel them often, and I'll just use my fingernail or a knife or something to cut some of these layers away. I have gotten a little carried away with peeling these away, and I've ruined things. Be more careful than I am. Yeah, so you don't wreck your stuff. But this is totally a doable thing to take away some of this extra weight that you just don't need, especially when you get things layered up and you got your journal already fat with other stuff you've stuffed in it. You don't need a paper clip taking up so much space. This is prime real estate, people. I'm assuming that the thing that the paper clip is holding in your journal is just as important as the decorated paper clip, or even more important. Hello. Okay, so I made that thinner, and now I'm going to add this. Again, I wouldn't normally just add this thing. I would have it inked on the edges, and I would add flowers to it, or I would add stuff to it, is what I'm trying to say, and not very well. But I'm not going to do that right now, because the point of this is just idea crafting. Just idea crafting. So now, that's fabulous. This would look so much better if the edges were inked. Is it loose enough for me to show you? It is. Okay, now you saw it quick. Hopefully you were looking. You saw it quick without inked edges. Now I'm going to take that marker, and before this glue dries, try to get these edges blacked, because this just drives me nuts when these cut edges are just not finished. Ridiculously so. Do not think that just because I'm doing this and acting like it's so important that you need to do the same thing. Because hopefully if you decide to do a craft like this, or if you already do a craft like this and you get inspired to do some more, you're not quite as crazy about this stuff as I am. I'm going to practice at some point not inking every edge I come across, or creating a book that is 100% not inked on the edges, which would probably be an easier mid-step for me. I need more glue because it's drying. Okay, ready? There we go. Now, did that make a striking difference, or did it not? Probably not. Right? We're not talking complete overhaul here. But that, oh man, and I'm making a big fat glue mess, so you can hardly even tell what I've done, because it's all glue mess now. You might have to wait for this to dry. But that's not all ink mess on my envelope. That is, or on my pocket. That is wet glue reflecting the ink. So this won't look like this. Let's see if we can clean it up a speck. Yeah, we're going to have to end this right here because I have 10 seconds left before the hour mark. I don't really care how long my videos go. I mean, maybe it's someday when I know why it matters, I will care, but Mine are definitely flow of consciousness. Share all the stuff that goes on in my head while I'm crafting sort of videos. And for now, that's the way they're going to be. So now I have this lovely pocket. Again, goes on a page in a journal. Let's use our fake journal page. Right? Goes on a page in a journal and has a tag in a tag. Or a tag in a paper clip. This is not obviously not finished. I would back this with tea-dyed paper to add a little more weight to it, and I would put some kind of pull on it. Again, I'll do this hopefully before the show tonight, and I will show things on the show tonight and how they all end up getting finished. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching yesterday's show. I'm going to go and get busy with today's show. That'll be awesome. Thanks for hanging out. See you next time. Bye.